This is Red Carpet Fly's News on the Fly, bringing you daily, unique, and interesting entertainment, celebrity, and luxury news. Before we get started, you know what to do. Like, follow, and subscribe to Red Carpet Fly, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single News on the Fly episode. Okay, let's get started. Frustrating little-known disorder in spotlight after Bruce Willis's aphasia diagnosis. So we've all heard the sad news about Bruce Willis and his diagnosis with aphasia. A recent Los Angeles Times article describes the illness as living in a country where you don't speak the language. Gestures, sign language, and other forms of communication may not be much help, and people who want to help you struggle to understand. You know what things are, you know the person you were, but others don't know that, said Lynn Turkestra, a professor of speech-language pathology and neuroscience at McMaster's University in Canada. All of a sudden, you can't express thoughts and feelings as you once could, and if it's progressive, you can feel it slipping away gradually. Bruce Willis's retirement from a 4-decade acting career after an aphasia diagnosis has put the little-known disorder in the spotlight. People living with aphasia, as well as their caregivers and advocates for the treatment of the disorder, say they hope his diagnosis will help reduce the stigma of the invisible illness and lead to a better understanding of a frustrating, isolating condition that affects about 2 million Americans. Willis's diagnosis has already sparked a huge interest in the condition, said Darlene Williamson, the volunteer president of the National Aphasia Association, a nonprofit organization that helps patients and their caregivers. The Willis's family news echoes other celebrity health decisions, including Betty Ford's 1974 battle with breast cancer, Michael J. Fox's disclosure in 1998 that he had Parkinson's disease, and Angelina Jolie's preventive double mastectomy in 2013. How many people have ever heard of aphasia? Pitifully few, Williamson said. If I tell someone I have aphasia, they have no idea what it is. Just the word itself, to be meaningful, is a huge desire for our community. Aphasia is not a congenital disorder and does not affect intelligence. Most frequently triggered by strokes or other brain trauma, the condition makes it difficult to speak and find the proper words and to understand what is said or written. In less frequent cases, aphasia can be brought on by a neurodegenerative disease that causes cognitive issues. For both types of aphasia, the resulting communication difficulties can lead to shame, embarrassment, and frustration. The general public assumes that if someone doesn't respond, they aren't intellectually challenged, said Roberta DePompe, a retired professor of speech-language pathology at the University of Akron. They are treated like a child when inside they are still the same person. It becomes humiliating to be treated that way. The condition is more common than Parkinson's disease or multiple sclerosis, but far less known. About 2 years ago, 86.2% of Americans had not heard of aphasia, while about 7% knew that it was a communication disorder, according to a survey by the National Aphasia Association. Language is one of the things that makes us really human, said Dr. Mario F. Mendez, a behavioral neurologist at UCLA. Because aphasia affects a person's ability to use symbols, whether words, sign language, musical notations, even Morse code, the condition can be difficult to work around. How aphasia affects someone and how it can be treated vary widely. Mendez says he recently saw 3 distinct aphasia patients in one day. One first struggled to remember certain words, a second distorted the pronunciation, and the third simply couldn't understand what the doctor was saying. The patient who couldn't recall terms was able to express himself by explaining around them and is a good candidate for speech therapy. Meanwhile, the visit with the patient who struggled to understand language led to a very difficult conversation with his wife. For patients whose aphasia is brought on by insidiously slow progressive degeneration rather than a stroke, an early warning sign is often trouble finding a word, Mendez says. Sometimes called the tip of the tongue phenomenon, people are forced to stop mid-sentence and search for what should come next. Interestingly, Bruce Willis is not the only celebrity that has this diagnosis. Emilia Clarke, the mother of dragons herself, experienced aphasia after suffering 2 life-threatening brain aneurysms. Kirk Douglas also suffers from the ailment after having a stroke that left him speech impaired. Douglas made 2 films with impaired speech, which he discusses in his 2002 memoir, My Stroke of Luck. Lastly, Sharon Stone also suffers from aphasia as a result from an aneurysm. However, that didn't stop her from acting. As she states, I took smaller parts and built up a body of work completely different from the thing I got stuck into by the part where I wasn't taken seriously, she told The Times in 2018. So although this isn't great news for Bruce Willis, there is light at the end of the tunnel and he can still act and do what he loves. He just will have to take fewer and smaller parts to help compensate for the illness. Ashanti to receive a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. According to The Root, Grammy Award-winning singer Ashanti will be recognized with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame soon. With this honor, the baby singer will become the 2,718th person to receive a star. She will be joined by frequent musical collaborator Ja Rule and Tashina Arnold, who are set as guest speakers for the event. The Hollywood Chamber Chair of the Board, Lupita Sanchez Conejo, will also serve as MC, according to the press release. Speechless, humbled, honored, grateful. Thank you guys so much, Ashanti wrote in a post on social media sharing the news. Hollywood Walk of Fame producer Anna Martinez added, Ashanti is an award-winning singer, author, actress, and executive producer. She has proven her talent in many different Hollywood industries and is an example for young girls who want to be in the biz. Ashanti's industry impacts is vast, spanning across music, television, movies, business, and philanthropic endeavors. Earlier this month, Ashanti recently made history as the first Black female artist to partner with and be co-founder of a Web3 tech company, EQ Exchange. You can tune in to see the Foolish singer receive her star on April 7th at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard by visiting www.walkoffame.com. So congratulations to Ashanti for her walk on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. They have been really busy over there. This is their third star they've given out within the last 2 months. One was to Morris Chestnut, and then the other day, the star was given to the band, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and now Ashanti. You know what's crazy to me is that these celebrities act shocked when they are getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame because they can't get nominated unless the celebrity or the celebrity's management agrees with the nomination. So it's not really a surprise. Maybe they're just shocked that someone would think to nominate them. At any rate, congrats to Ashanti. She deserves this star. Your first look at Real Housewives of Dubai is finally here. E! News reports the City of Gold is about to get even more glitzy. On April 1st, Bravo revealed a sneak peek of its highly anticipated new series, The Real Housewives of Dubai, which will officially premiere on June 1st. Nina Ali, Chanel Ayan, Caroline Brooks, Dr. Sarah Alamandi, Lessa Milan are all joining the 11th installment of the Housewives universe with Carolyn Stanbury, who appeared on Season 3 of Bravo's Ladies of London from 2014 to 2016, rounding out the cast. The Real Housewives of Dubai follows a powerful group of lavish women as they run business empires and expertly navigate a highly exclusive social scene within the ultra-luxe billionaire's playground, according to the network. Whether they're dining on a mountainside overlooking a valley of 1,000 camels or hosting a wedding event of the year, these ambitious and glamorous women prove everything is more extravagant in the City of Gold. We never knew how badly we needed to see a valley of 1,000 camels until now. But have no fear, the drama is not far behind. When new group dynamics threaten long-standing friendships, tensions inevitably reach boiling point, says Bravo. So if you can't handle the heat, get out of Dubai. So I'm really excited to see this. What's interesting is that Bravo has been having international housewife franchises for a while now, but this is the only one that's really been getting attention here in the States. Maybe because it has a broader appeal. I'm not too sure. Well, I did check out the teaser, and it has a mixed race cast, which is always interesting because Bravo has been under a lot of scrutiny lately for not having enough diversity in its show. In the Housewives of Dubai, they have black girls, Middle Eastern girls, and white girls. They mix it all up and they cover all their bases. I'm already a Housewives fan, so I will be watching. Are you guys going to watch? Comment below and let your girl know. Well, that's it for Red Carpet Fly's News on the Fly. Please follow, subscribe, and share our YouTube channel, Red Carpet Fly, and also follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Red Carpet Fly. And until tomorrow, always stay fly.